focusing now on Russia's war in Ukraine. The president in Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, is replying to Vladimir Putin's call to bring up 300,000 citizens for his war in Ukraine, describing it as a, quote, mobilization to graves.
Yeah, he says he was quoting the Russian people themselves, where thousands are fleeing, at least in part to avoid the draft. Yesterday alone, officials say more than 8,000 Russians crossed by land. You can see the line there of cars into Finland. CNN's Ben Wiedemann is live in Kharkiv, Ukraine, with more. Hi there, Ben. So what are we seeing in terms of the reaction to this latest massive mobilization by Putin?
Amara, Boris, well, what we heard from President Zelensky here in his nightly address was he was calling on those Russian soldiers who end up on the front lines in Ukraine to either surrender, and he said that if they surrender, they will be treated in a civilized manner. The circumstances of their surrender will be kept secret because the Russians have come out and said that anybody who surrenders voluntarily could face up between 10 and 15 years in prison. And he said that in the event of a prisoner exchange, if any of those Russian prisoners does not want to go back to Russia, Ukraine will facilitate that desire. He also called on Russian soldiers in Ukraine to sabotage Russian operations, to interfere with those operations, and also to pass on information to the Ukrainian side. Now, this is really part of an ongoing psychological war by the Ukrainians against Russians. And I can tell you, the other day, I was near the Russian front lines. I have a Ukrainian phone, and I received on it a letter, a text from the Ukrainian authorities saying, "Soldier of the Russian Federation, you are fulfilling a criminal order. You will die. Surrender to captivity. You will return home safely." Now, as far as action going on the ground here in Ukraine, the city of Odessa has recently come under repeated drone attack. Odessa, keep in mind, is fairly far from the front lines, and it's believed many of these drones are Iranian drones sold to the Russians. In one case, several drones hit a civil administration building in the middle of the city, causing fatalities. And in another, it hit the Navy headquarters there, because, of course, Odessa is a port city. In response, the Ukrainian authorities have called upon the Iranian embassy to reduce its staff in Kyiv, and they have pulled the accreditation of the Iranian ambassador. Boris, Amara?
All right, Ben Wiedemann, appreciate your reporting as always. Thank you so much, Ben.